What's good, people? This is the Rap Roundtable. Your boy Jarv here, Sincere the Rap Snob, Dini the Balance, the homie Mace. We just want to make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, help us get our numbers up. We're trying to get 2,000 subs, 5,000. Y'all know how this go. If y'all think we're good and y'all love the content, some of y'all always say, yo, how come y'all don't have more views? It's because y'all don't sub. So make sure y'all do that and tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. The Rap Roundtable is back. You know, we don't usually do the Sunday thing, but hip-hop is producing news. I know if y'all been paying attention, the news cycle been quiet, but Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs have given us something to talk about, and it cannot wait for the next episode. It has to be discussed right now. It's your boy Jarv here alongside the homie Mace. Since the Rap Snob and Dini couldn't be with us right now, they got some things going on, but the Rap Roundtable needed to be heard from during this time. So, Mace, bruh, Freddie Gibbs, Benny the Butcher, something that will be bar heavy, not no clout chasing, not colorful dreads, not no weird rap energy that we don't particularly care for. This feel like hip hop, feel like competition. Like, how you feeling about this, bro?
I'm a little bit intrigued. I won't lie. I mean, I won't call myself the biggest Gibbs fan, but to talk about him like he doesn't have standing in the game right now, like, you know, if you love hip hop, then you at least are knowledgeable about Freddie Gibbs. So Benny basically making his case, building his legacy right now on his way up in the game. You got to clash with other Titans. It always happens. So I'm interested in seeing what's going on with these two. You know what I mean?
Yo, this feel like, you know, when we was talking about wrestling before we got on here. This feel like, you know, you got the two hot dudes that's in the Intercontinental division and they feuded before they move up. Like, this feel like Razor Ramon and HBK, Triple H and The Rock in '98. Like, two dudes who are really hot. They not main event yet, but they hot, and they going for the second hottest belt, the Intercontinental belt. Like, I'm intrigued, and I won't lie. Like, my history on this podcast speaks for itself. I don't really care about Freddie Gibbs like that. No disrespect to Gibbs. I'm not saying Gibbs is trash. I'm not saying that he's whack. I'm not saying his music is whack. I just don't rock with Gibbs the way certain people rock with Gibbs. Benny, though, I got a vested interest in Benny. I've been on the Benny train from the time since he introduced us to Griselda. I've been a Benny the Butcher fan. So I'm very, very intrigued about where this goes. So I guess for people who might be living under a rock, they don't know what's going on. The question would be, like, why are these guys trading barbs on subbing each other on Twitter? In an interview, Benny the Butcher says that the time for a collaborative album or collaborating with Freddie Gibbs has come. It came and it went, to quote him. And then Freddie Gibbs commented or responded on Twitter saying came and went, LOL. And then even further was like basically telling Benny the Butcher to keep my name out your mouth when he responded verbally on Instagram. Keep my name out your mouth is hot talk where we're from. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yo, when you saw that, Mace, like this kind of energy, what did you think initially?
Well, it threw me off in the beginning, you know, because it seems like Benny is only reactive because just like you say, there's been tweets, there's been subliminals, even going as far back as to when West Side had an issue about Freddie Gunn having two great albums in 1 year. And he made a little bit of a rant on Twitter mentioning that, you know, he's continuously put out great work. You know what I mean? And against Freddie Gibbs, it wasn't towards him, but, you know, Freddie Gibbs was the subject of the original tweet. Okay. So they had a little bit of static back then. It didn't seem like anything because, as we know, Freddie has been on West Side. He has worked with Khan. He's worked with Benny himself. So we didn't really look. It really just looked like egos at that point. But as it's progressed, I'm like, wait a second, was there behind the scenes issues that we don't know about? Because Freddie Gibbs saying keep my name out of your mouth is interesting because I always see Freddie Gibbs with people's names in his mouth.
That's a fact.
So it's I guess that bully energy, like I can talk about you, but don't talk about me. And if you talk about me, we're gonna have problems. But it don't seem like Benny's too affected by it. He just was like, you know, if that's how you feel, I ain't rocking with you. But the continuous insults and mocking of a serious situation for Benny and Houston that went down, I think at that point you've crossed the line. And Gibbs is a habitual line crosser. So,
hands down.
Know, I don't. How I'm feeling about it, I'm like, I'm hoping we get records out of it. But you know, Gibbs is kind of taking it a little too far to me. I don't know. Maybe he's not worried about Benny like that. What you thinking about it?
I mean, when Freddie Gibbs is out here saying that people's music don't hit the same after they get robbed, the gangster talk don't hit. It's like, fam.
Yikes.
Like, what you mean by that, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a real shaky scenario to have a man say that kind of thing about an artist that he's collaborated with, you know?
Right.
And then you think about the music they've made. I'm of the belief that Benny has got him a few times. They've gotten together on wax. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm looking at this situation and I'm like, is this a scenario where Gibbs is looking at the landscape, a landscape that he's had control over? A lot of guys say Bandana and Alfredo are bar none classics. I think, was it Alfredo was Grammy nominated, if I'm not mistaken?
It was. It was.
But now he's seeing a space that he's been cultivating, getting occupied heavily by the Butcher. Def Jam deal, a lot of notoriety, big features. Is this a situation where Gibbs feels like, yo, I gotta protect this land that I've built? Like, I got a lot of property. I got a lot of acres on this property.
Interesting.
And this dude is trying to move next to me. I liked it when I was Freddie Gibbs and Benny the Butcher was somewhere around here. Is Freddie Gibbs concerned? I'm a little confused, but I gotta back the phone now. I gotta go to the tweets. You know what I mean? So then Benny the Butcher says, I never see niggas tough nowhere but the internet. What we talking about now, Mace?
I mean, tough on the internet for getting beat up in steakhouses across in Miami, getting shot at in Brooklyn. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on you, Freddie, but Benny might be talking about you. And for the record, Benny got him on Frank Lucas. I feel like One Way Flight was right there for me, to be honest.
I mean,
so
like, he only gave him 8 bars on that.
but the feel that he brought on the record, you know what I mean? His energy on the record, it was memorable. As I would say. But Frank Lucas was a slaughter. We know that. But I don't know, Job. Like, he's really kind of pushing Benny into a corner. And at this point, at first, it didn't seem like Benny was really here for conflict. He was real cordial in the interview you were speaking about.
Right.
It seemed like he just didn't want to, he was off that. But with Gibbs' antics, it seems like Benny is being forced to respond. You know what I mean?
You know what, Mace? There was a few times where, like, Benny in his bars, I would say the second half of last year, all the way into Tanner Talk, he keeps talking about people hating on other rappers upset. And I'm like, is he just flexing or is he talking about somebody? And now with everything that's happening with Gibbs, it's like, has he been talking to Gibbs the entire time? And then we have another tweet from Benny the Butcher that says, how can you hate on a nigga you beg to do an album with? TT4 out now. And then Freddie Gibbs responds with, I ain't mad because I know they just doing it for promo. I don't believe that Benny the Butcher needs to do anything for promo.
Not
placements, J. Cole features, one of the hottest tapes out right now. He don't need Freddie Gibbs for promo.
Highest first week numbers for Griselda on any release, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Benny is looking better than ever. So I hadn't even caught those last weeks. This is like a real time reaction y'all witnessing, folks. I didn't even know it was still going that far. Look at this, man. So I don't know. I never knew. Maybe Gibbs was begging to do this album behind the scenes, but I know fans have been thirsting for it. I saw it more from fans. I never saw Gibbs or Benny themselves say, yeah, we gonna do that. So I don't know if he's kind of just posturing to make him look bad or what. Now, Gibbs saying this is all for promo is interesting because you kind of have fanned these flames, no?
He's right there with him. He's by responding and subbing them back and saying, going on Instagram and saying, keep my name out your mouth, say next question. You are feeding into the drama, whatever it might be. Like, there is a real rivalry here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if like I want to say these guys don't like each other, but it's starting to feel like dislike on somebody's behalf.
It is.
Or is it a figment of Gibbs not looking at Benny as a person that's on his level? Because it seemed like when Gibbs is responding, he's kind of mocking Benny, and Benny's calling him a hater. Some interesting energy here. Interesting,
and I've seen Gibbs interview little post-pandemic. We talking about late 2020. He had a top 5 of his peers, including himself, and Benny was on the list. So there was respect there. You know what I mean? We know Alchemist is good friends with both of these cats.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know the sometimes you want to. We ask for this, right? We ask for the competitive spirit. We ask for almost the same way NBA fans don't want LeBron and KD friends after the game. We ask for this as rap fans. We want competitiveness, right? We tired of the DJ Khaled, we tired of
the special handshakes from opponents and all of that. Like we're not on the same team.
So I'm kind of appreciating the energy, job. I just needed to transfer on record. That's what I need.
Speaking of all record, I got a little conspiracy theory. With Johnny P's Caddy drop, a lot of people thought that J. Cole was taking shots at Benny the Butcher.
Right.
Now that this hit the fan, I threw it in our group chat. I threw it to the listeners and viewers here. What if J. Cole was talking to Freddie Gibbs? Because everything that he said on that song is applicable to Gibbs and his fan base and the kind of things that he raps about. And considering J. Cole's not messy, he's not going to go and diss Benny. And I'm sure Cole, because the thing is, they all got one person in common, Gibbs, Cole, and Benny, Jay-Z. So you already know news travels. What if Cole knew about the shots being thrown, looked at a dude like Benny, looked at a dude like Gibbs and said, Benny's a lot more vested as far as fan base, notoriety, popularity than a guy like Gibbs who has more of a cult following. And he's the one who took the shot on behalf of Benny the Butcher. Because the bars are applicable here, bro.
They are. When you lobbed that to the chat, I kind of had a picky in the brain moment. Like, wait a second, I think this guy knows what he's talking about. So that's an interesting caveat. These type of things are often like this. In the same way, we never found out that Bleak was actually dissing Nas for like 4 years. These type of things always come out later in the fact. But remember, folks, where you heard it first. Y'all Rap Roundtable.
That's a fact. Yo, Mace, before we pack this up, bro, you got anything else? Like what's the excitement level? Do you think it's promo? Put a bow on this potential issue in hip hop.
It's not promo. I don't believe it's promo. I don't believe that not on Benny's behalf. I don't think Benny would look at Gibbs for promo. So I don't think it's promo. And I think we're headed for some records. I mean, every other day we in the chat talking about what's going on with these two guys. What's going on with these two guys. So I expect records. I expect Benny to come out on top.
Okay. You know what? I can't wait. I feel like me saying I think Benny would win, people would just call me biased. But you know what? In this case, I've learned my lesson in hip hop. I'm not going to sleep on Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is too much of a loose cannon. I feel like between the two of them, Freddie Gibbs, shout out to Deanie, because Deanie was like, if anybody got time, it's Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is more likely to say the more reckless thing between the two of them on wax. So I'm not going to write off Freddie Gibbs. I just want some bars on wax. Not no subs. Say their names. Talk to these guys directly. Bring up instances. Give the people of Gotham what they want. Rap beef with bars. Not into the weirdo fake street energy. We just want bars. We want one person to decide who's the man here.
That's it. And one more question, y'all. How does the rest of Griselda react to this?
They might have to sit this one out, bro. But then again, they're collective. How do we know that they won't get that Freddie Gibbs won't get jumped on wax? La Maki not the best,
and not folks that just met each other when they got in the rap game. This is family right now, so I'm interested in all angles because I don't really know if Gibbs at this point hasn't burnt his bridges to the point that nobody's coming to his
Gibbs
defense.
Don't have the allies that Benny has.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Even you think about when it hit the fan about Benny getting jumped by Capo and them in Miami, and Benny's response to that. Like, these are little things that now make sense. It's all yo, listen, it's the Rap Roundtable, yo. We got episode 43 out. It's coming. It's not out. It's coming on the way. Special guest Eddie Kane is on that, so make sure you tap in if you're a fan of the underground scene, which is what we're all about here at the Rap Roundtable. As you can see, the things we talk about on the Rap Roundtable. We love bars. We love the underground scene. We love Bar Smiths. Eddie K gave us a wonderful interview, stayed for the whole pod, gave us great energy. So make sure you tap into 43. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to this video, especially like. If you're watching this video, hit the like button and tap in with us. It's your boy Jav, Mace, Sincere, Deanie was good. We miss y'all here, bro. It would have been fun to have y'all.
The gang. Facts.
I mean, until next time.